All right, so you should see us live now. If you have it pulled up. All right, folks, if you're out there, let us know. We got 2 minutes before kickoff tonight for Conversations at the Farm. Hopefully folks are coming online. So Ty, are you on? Because I don't see anybody showing up. Oh, I got two. There's two folks, so you must be one of them. Tevin's out there. Hey, Tevin, man. I've been following you on Facebook. I've been seeing the books. You're reading. Looks like some really good stuff, man. Thanks for being out there, Tevin. Thanks for joining us. This empty chair right here is going to be filled with my beautiful wife, who's sitting off to the side right now, cutting, I don't know, cutting, I can't even see what it is. She's cutting something for an art project. Is it for an art project? What is it? Like a patriot?
Paper dolls.
You're cutting out paper dolls?
Kind of.
All right, cool. All right. We're getting ready to get her going. Up and away. I must have lost Ty. Ty, did you hang up on me? I'm up and going. You went all. All right. Listen, there's some of y'all out there, so get on the chat board. Let me know you're out there so I know who I'm talking to. We got some good stuff to talk about tonight. Some interesting things that connects with what we're doing on the weekend. And need you to chime in. It's been a while. Gosh, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 months. 6 months since we had, or longer, Conversations at the Farm. So you got some questions out there. Julie has the answers. And she is ready. She's ready to give you those answers to those questions. She's been anticipating all day long. She went to the Lebanon Square with Ruth Rotten, Marlene Corey. They had lunch. They shopped at all the antique stores. I'm sure they found me a wonderful present that I just haven't gotten yet. She's going to get this to me. Brett Schultz! Did Alabama win? Did Alabama pull it off in a COVID world? Did they pull it out there? Luke, you're going to be our president one day. We need you. Luke, we need you big time. Great to see the Schultz family out there, all the way from Langford Farms. Come on, others are chiming in. Chime in on the chat. Let us know who's out there so we can talk to you. It's been a while. Brett, you cracked me up, man. Luke. There you go, buddy. You know what? Give me a thumbs up on that YouTube channel. That helps. Ring the bell. Give me a thumbs up. Julie's taking off her sweater because I got the fire. See, isn't this beautiful? Nice warm fire hit the farm on Wednesday night. Come on in, folks. Folks are coming in. Good to see you. Jump on in there. There she is. Woo! The queen bee has flown in. Show what you cut out. Show everybody what you were cutting out.
No.
Yeah, I want to see it.
No.
Come on.
I do not care what I'm cutting out.
I know, but they still like to see it. Come on. Where is it over there?
Tevin does not care.
A bunch of
and Lacey
stuff.
doesn't care. She's not crafty.
Well, Brett does. Brett
does not care either.
Brett is like, crafty is not the word, but he made this beautiful table. Artistic. Michelle. Hey, Miss Michelle. Great to see you. A lot of other folks jumping on. Jump in the chat. chat because we're going to need you to
read that.
jump in on the conversation tonight.
So let's see if I can find it.
And
How do you find it? Oh.
then you turn your volume down, make sure. No, the volume. There you go, the bottom button. There you go. All right. Miss Michelle, hope I haven't had dinner yet. Has anybody else had dinner yet? I haven't had dinner yet. I've been on Zoom calls all afternoon. Who's tired of Zoom? But it's a great thing. It's a great thing in these days. So
do you have comments here?
Huh?
Do comments come on this?
You know, let's see.
We're back to technological issues.
Yeah. I don't know where you see the ad on the. We did this before on the phone, didn't we? With a where you saw the chat
comments
screen.
Turned off?
Tevin, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Tevin says he's zoomed out. What was that TV commercial? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Wasn't that a car commercial? I can't remember exactly. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Nobody cares about that. I cannot. Hey, somebody help me. Wait a minute.
Find the chat.
Nope. Do I have to sign in? Do I have to subscribe?
I don't know. Are you not subscribed? Subscribe to our YouTube channel? You're not? The pastor's wife is not subscribed.
I figure I learn everything when you just tell me.
But she's going to be, right?
Yes.
Oh,
no,
she
I'm
is
not.
signing on now.
Sign in. I have to sign in. I can't sign in again because I don't know.
All right, it's a bunch of more of y'all out there. Come on. Tell us who you are. Get in the chat section. Of course, you may be like, Julie, you can't find it on your phone.
I'm just going to sit closer.
Send me a text then, 615-308-0212. What are you doing?
Welcome to live chat. I'm trying to read. I can't read
That
from way
looks
back
really
there.
funny
I
when you
know
do
it does.
that.
Sorry. Welcome to live chat.
Is this right here?
Yeah, I know that. I just can't read it from back here.
Okay, I have to do that.
I used to read on my phone.
All right, Brett, I am so glad you and others, but I know you're a mathematic guy, right? He is a wizard at numbers. He's a master of the mathematical. What do you call it?
I know where you're going with this at all. Is there a question that you want to ask, Brett?
Mathematical
You should probably just
world. I don't even know what that's called. What is that called? What is a
math world?
Math world?
It's kind of like Disney World.
He's in it. He's in it, Brett. Oh boy.
I know, really.
So Brett. All right. Last Sunday, this is where we're going to start the conversation night. We're in a new series called Today Plus Tomorrow Equals Forever. I thought that was really clever to come up with a title like that. You guys may not, but I thought it was that's pretty cool. That's really good. Today plus tomorrow equals forever. So what do we do today heading into tomorrow, and how's that going to impact forever? So we talked about that starting last week in our new message series based off of the ministry of Jesus from the Gospel of John, chapter 10:10. In his ministry, he called us to live the abundant life. And then how does that, as we jump in or dive in or step into Christ and his abundant life for us, that impacts our tomorrow. So anyway, I started last week. I don't know if you remember this or not, but Brett, you may remember. We started with the mathematical equation, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now, I was just playing with things and going,
there it is.
What is something? Did you find it?
I had to go to my regular YouTube.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I said, what is a way to introduce the fact that we live in a unstable world? Hey, Bobby Bass, good to see you, buddy. An unstable world in chaotic times. In times we're all trying to grasp with what would be a rock, what would be a foundation, so in this series we're saying 2 plus 2 equals 4. And I thought, man, that's who's going to deny that? Who's going to say That doesn't make sense. So anyway, we started there last week. Now I'm kind of giving you what's coming up this weekend is I expand on that. And I thought, I wonder if something else out there on the web about 2 + 2 = 4. So I looked that up. You all can do this. Google 2 + 2 = 4. And it's amazing.
Why would you do that?
It's amazing how much stuff comes up. I really thought like, I wouldn't be a whole lot out there. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff. And this is, I read there is a, what's the word I would call? There's a group of people, there's a group in our society. They have these multiple web pages and blogs and research they've done. And they say 2 + 2 does not equal 4. See that? That's what I did. When I do it, you do it. 2 + 2 = 4. You'll find a little fire here. You'll find people who are arguing. I use it. They are debating. They are influencing, and they're saying 2 + 2 does not equal 4. Now, this is what I found to be so surprising. Is in some of the articles I read about it, they said that was I mean this well, I'm not going to go off on this, okay? I'm telling you, this is what I found. That 2 + 2 = 4 is a Western white supremacist statement.
Okay.
What? And you read about it and see what you think. And the whole reason I'm talking about this tonight is like, I never thought we would be facing some of the things we're facing in our country and in our churches and on social media and the craziness that's going on. I never thought, but I thought for certain 99.9% would say 2 + 2 = 4. And there's a great group out there that would say that is not true. So the whole reason I'm talking about this is this. No matter what you know to be true, don't be surprised that there'll be a group of people who say it's not. If people can actually debate, and I don't like to use the word argue. What's another word for argue?
Heatedly discuss.
Heatedly discuss. And I don't know if it didn't come across that way. When you research it, you look at it, you see what you find. But they're trying to influence that this is a Western white supremacist mentality if you really believe that. And I'm going, what? So no matter what you believe, you're always going to find somebody who's going to say that's not true. Even with the mathematical equation, Brett, this is where I'm talking to you. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Now, I will say, as you dig deeper and you read further, if you feel like doing that, there's different sides or different views of that. Because what they're saying is 2 is never really 2. It's 1.9 or it's 2.1. It's never really always just clearly 2. So if you have 2.3 that you're calling a 2 and a 2.4 that you're calling a 2, then that's really 4.7. If you round that off, that equals 5. So 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, it equals 5.
Plug your ears, Luke. 2 + 2 on your papers equals 4.
Hey, Dan Otterburn, good to see you.
Aw, Dan.
So anyway, as believers, as those maybe seeking Christ, those who are trying to live in today's world, let's just know. Let's just have our eyes wide open. No matter how sure we are of Christ and his sufficient work on the cross and his powerful resurrection that gives life over death and sin, there's going to be people who say no. Just like 2 + 2 = 5. They're going to do that. So, I guess that's where the scripture tells us, like last week, we talked about be alert, be aware, the adversary who's active, who's working, who's out there creating so much chaos and confusion. He loves it. He thrives on it. Be alert, be aware. Greater is he who's in you than he who's in the world. And though he's a roaring lion, he's seeking to devour. Listen, he's trying to convince you 2 + 2 = 5.
So Brett does have some experience in this, and he's has great discernment in deciding that we're not going to talk about that. Just like I'm not going to talk about genetically, you have a 50-50 chance of being a male or a female, but statistically, the males edge it out. There are more males in the world than females. So it probably falls into the same category. Moving along, who else has a wonderful question?
There's more males in the world than females? Are you sure that's right?
It edges, it comes out.
I thought it was more females in the world than there are
Well, I mean,
males.
it comes out that they top it. It's like a little bit over 50%. I get what you're saying. So basically, we don't really care. Let's find something else that's interesting to talk about. His point is valid. There is ultimate truth. We did talk about that in our last session of conversations. And somebody will always tell you that they don't believe that that's true. So the only things I know to be true that don't hedge or there's no class or anything are those tenets of your faith that if you miss those, you are not going to end up in heaven with an eternal relationship with Christ. Those are true, and there's no changing it. So, okay, next.
2 + 2 = 4.
This fireplace.
It's the wood. It's popping. It's wonderful.
Which is fine as long as it doesn't do that like sprinkle out spark things, because our screen is not quite tight enough together. So if you see me on fire, let me know.
Can we see the sprinkle out spark things again?
Sprinkle out spark things. I go like that.
Man, great to see you again. Those who've jumped on, we're just having conversation. Jump in the chat. The chat screen window part. Let us know who you are, what's going on.
Luke has a question.
Ask any question you want to ask, and I'll let Julie answer if I can't, because she's got it down. So Luke, my man, you got a question?
Yes.
I don't see it. Where's Luke?
He wanted to know, why did God turn into a burning bush? I don't think he did. I think he spoke out of a burning bush. I had not really thought about it.
Luke, I'm going to do.
Maybe it's the wording that.
I got to look up.
Brett, what makes him think that God turned into a burning bush instead of speaking from a burning bush, kind of like in the midst of it? Since we can't see God. Because if we saw him, then they would have died. Moses would have died.
Well, he was in the cleft of the rock, right?
No,
you didn't see him.
It was a burning bush, wasn't in the cleft of the rock. Oh my goodness, we have problems tonight. That's two different stories.
I'm trying to find. What?
The burning bush and the cleft in the rock is two different stories.
When God walked by? Okay.
Yeah, God didn't walk by the burning bush. He spoke.
Okay, and the angel of the Lord
Actually, was it
appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. He looked, and behold, the bush was burning, yet it was not consumed.
He might have been the flame, because it does talk about him in flames a lot in Scripture. But he was not.
It says that he appeared to him in a flame of fire.
Right. I would say.
In the midst of the bush.
I would say.
So he was a bush.
Because, Luke, if Moses had seen the face of God, he would have had to die. Nobody has seen the face of God, except for people up in heaven.
Well, in the New Testament, the Holy Spirit came down. It looked like a flame of fire that landed on their heads, right?
So God
Do I have that story right?
I think so. Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit are, I think, described different times as flames or burning flames. I remember that many passages.
Great question, Luke.
But it is a good question. You're very observant.
Great question. Yes. The fire of God. And also the fire, like fire of God
So that
fell,
is what
right?
I'm
From the sky in the temple, the fire of God fell. Smoke, you see God through smoke, right? His presence is seen as smoke. Yes? In the temple?
I don't know.
I do.
I mean, I'm not
2
saying
plus
I
2 equals
wasn't
4.
thinking. Are there any other questions? It's not stumped me on the Bible knowledge. It's
that's
you have a
good.
question about any.
Great
It
questions.
is.
Throw them out there to us. So everyone's, in the midst of pandemic, here at the farm, things are still going all right. We got 2 new calves, 4 months old, 2 bull calves here. The chickens, though, have been laying down on the job.
Well,
But it's typical for this time of year. They go into what's called a molt. Is it molt?
molting, they molt.
Molt season, and they stop laying eggs for a while. So
Length of daylight.
I'm looking at our egg container over there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs.
3 of them have kicked in again. So we were getting maybe 1 or 2 eggs. Some
Per
days
day?
Nero.
A day?
Nero. 0. Some days
Nero?
it's a combination of
We're
none
getting
and
Nero.
0. None and Nero. 0 makes Nero.
Nero
We're getting
eggs.
Nero eggs at some days. And it's typical. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't know if I told you we had a molting hen. I mean, not molting, a broody hen. Did we talk about the broody hen last time?
I think so.
Okay.
The broody hen that had 5 chicks that you picked
Picked
out
out,
5
they're all
eggs.
roosters?
I don't think you did. I don't think you've talked about that.
Maybe they weren't grown then.
So Julie has an incredible ability
To pick a rooster.
to pick out 5 eggs. I mean, there's all these eggs. She picks out 5 eggs, and the hen sits on them for 21 days, only gets off to get water and food, goes back 21 days, hatches 5 chick, 1 doesn't make it. So we have 4.
We had 6. 1 didn't make it.
Oh, okay.
So we had 5.
So 5. We end up with 5? Oh, yeah.
We kept 1. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And all 5 are roosters.
Yeah. We're back down to 1 rooster now. So that's what we did January 1st. We reduced our rooster population.
Brett, what's
great
the
way to start the
odds?
new
What's
day.
the odds of that? She picking 5 eggs and every one of them are roosters. Put some mathematical numbers to that. What's the stats of that number?
Pretty
It's
good, I think.
astronomical. I don't think she could ever do it again if she tried.
I hope not. We shall see.
All right. So we continue this Sunday. We're moving from John 10:10 to Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This again is the mission and vision of our church. Remind ourselves, because vision leaks every January, we revisit. But this year, because of COVID, I mean, in our church, so many things are going to look different. And I know for all of us, that's not real exciting at times, but it is what it is. It already has happened. The shift towards more digital and virtual, we're in the midst of all of that. We're working really, really hard to produce some things that's going to help meet you guys in your homes in the next, 4, 5, 6 months, because they're saying that this pandemic really won't have much relief until the fall of this year and into, I can't believe I'm saying this, 2022. For the vaccines to get out, for everybody to get not 1, but in some cases 2. I don't think all of them require 2, right? But for all that to get through and for it to take effect and for it to bring some relief, there's a new reality that we're facing. And I'm going to talk about some of those things at the church, because in the next 8 to 12 months, we're still thinking in person is not going to be what it has been in the past. And so, what do we do as a church and how do we minister more effectively in that kind of a world? And that's not even addressing in the next, what is today? The 13th, in the next 7 days, what's going to happen with the transition in Washington, D.C. and all of that stuff that's going on. And, you know, again, I'm going to share this with you. My opinion, whoever's in the Oval Office, we should pray for. Whoever's in the Oval Office, we should support. As far as that person is our president, our leader, we need to pray for them and support that and help heal our nation, help heal our land. Do we always agree with the person sitting in that chair? No, we don't. Well, we don't even agree with one another. So
Not always. Nobody does. Nobody would.
yeah. So, you know, but there's a bigger cause out there beyond my personal preference. And I know, gosh, it's getting so. I was having a conversation today with some folks about it. It's getting so close between obeying God rather than obeying man, and where do you cross that line? And I wish I had some answers for you on that today. I'm gonna tell you, I don't. I just know there is that. I don't think we're there, but I mean, some people do. Some people really do. So, man, my encouragement is pray, pray, pray. Love more. Love those you disagree with. Love those you don't see things in common with. Be a beacon of God's incredible love and see how that will tackle and change hearts over time. I think right now. So, but as a church, you know, we're looking at the next 8 to 12 months, and we got 180,000 square feet of facilities, and we're talking about how do we better use those when in-person is not going to be 100% for some time. So I'm going to talk more about that on Sunday, so I don't want to give all that away, but check that out in this week's live stream as we talk about loving our community and impacting our city and fortifying our nation, embracing the world. COVID, post-COVID, it shifts, it's changing, and let's just be real. There's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is, and it is what it's going to be. Okay, what did Brett say about the?
Well, I'm trying to decipher it. So basically,
I asked him about the 5 eggs. What is the percentages of?
I get it. Each egg, I have a 50-50 chance. Are you saying it would be like me picking 5 roosters if I picked random 5 eggs 5 times in a row? Well, that's what it looked like you said.
I don't even know what she just said.
Well, anyways, moving on. Tevin, do you have a question?
Well,
or
what is
Dan?
it? One
or
is
Michelle?
one. He said it's 1 in 32.
Which is in then
To all
roosters.
be
Basically,
roosters.
50-50. I get that. Each egg is 50-50, but have to do it 5 times in a row. Yes, 1 and 2 to be a rooster. I got that part. I have to do it 5 times in a row. Is 1 and 32nd? If I do it 5 times in a row for each egg. Oh, never
Yes,
mind. We'll discuss
1
it later.
and 2 to be a rooster for each egg.
I got that part. Moving on.
I don't understand.
Anybody else have a
1/32
question?
second.
And by the way, does
Oh.
y'all say at the bottom, create a channel to join the chat? Does anybody say that and you're not chatting because, oh, how would I know? Well.
Oh, you got to join YouTube or something?
I don't know. I have to figure this
You
out.
got to create a channel. Oh, that's probably why some can't chat.
Because
I
I know.
got a lot of people out there that can't chat.
Because I know on when I watch YouTube videos of other people, it just says comment. But I don't see where it says comment when I'm watching this one. So.
Well, Dan Arterburn, how you doing out there, friend?
Maybe he has to join the YouTube.
Man, I've been thinking of you out there. Man, we're just thinking of you, praying for you. Glad to see you online tonight. Hope you're doing well. And hope, what's their dog name? What's Dan's dog's name? It's a cute little dog.
Well, Dan can say
Dan,
something
what's
because
your
he said
dog's
something
name?
earlier.
Hope
Or he
the
went to
pup's
eat
doing
dinner.
well. I know keeps you company, keeps you busy. So, all right. So that's my thoughts for tonight. What questions? Anybody got any more questions? Luke had a good question.
Sure, they can ask them.
Any question? Throw it out there to us.
Boo boo.
What's Boo Boo?
That's the dog.
Oh, Boo Boo.
Oh, you're not getting along?
No, they are.
It says
Boo Boo and I
are not.
get.
Are not. There's a
Oh
not.
no.
Sorry. I'll
Does
talk
he-
to you tomorrow about this, and
I
we'll
want-
see if we can have dog counseling.
Dan, every night, we're sitting on the couch just resting and watching a little TV or something, and Scooby, every night, a couple of times he'll come up and like he wants to go out, and no, yes. So sometimes Scooby and I don't get along either, but because I have to take him. All right. Brett, what's he got? Brett's on it
When
tonight.
he gets to heaven, maybe Brett's the only one besides Dan that can talk on here. And Tevin. Tevin, where are you? Taught a lesson on, oh no, I said to get closer. Origin of spiritual warfare and how it started with Lucifer's exile from heaven. Oh, good grief. I didn't mean that for this part. I'm like, you're stretching my brain. How did sin exist in heaven for him to get kicked out? It didn't exist in heaven. Well, I guess technically speaking, if he went there, then sin was in heaven. But Brett, is this a legit question that you really want the answer to, or you just want to debate things that I have no answer to?
So what's the question? How did, if
when I get to heaven,
Lucifer fell from heaven?
How did sin get in heaven?
Okay. I would say that's why he fell, so sin would not be in heaven.
Well,
he was
fell
cast
because
down
he
and
sinned.
cast
He wanted to
out.
be like God.
Sure.
I would say my brain goes in the person of Satan, and Satan being in heaven before God's throne, then sin would be there. But I don't know to say it existed in heaven. Or
no, wait a minute. Remember, James gives us some. Gives us some insight. Let me go find this
only
place from James.
tough questions for Lucifer to rebel in the first place before his trial to be kicked. Good point. Never thought about it. Why Lucifer?
No, where is it in James? It talks about just because you think it doesn't mean you sin.
Well, Lucifer definitely sinned. I don't think he's going in that direction. I mean, I don't think that.
No, I mean there was a process.
Anybody else have anything to say
temptation.
about this?
No, remember about temptation? Where is that? Okay, here it is. Let no one say when he is tempted, I'm being tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one.
But Lucifer wasn't tempted. He just was flat out all in.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
To me, he was all in.
Then I see, but each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Sin hasn't happened yet. Then desire, when it is conceived, gives birth to sin. So he was tempted. Temptation.
So I guess Lucifer was tempted. He had a desire to be like God. He gave into it. He sinned, and he couldn't stay. And there's probably some stuff in between those two parts.
But it's not like an automatic. We're all tempted, but temptation is not sin. Sin only happens when the desire is, what does it say?
But there was no redemption for the angels.
Okay, now I got to look some of that
now
up.
I'm back over into Hebrews.
That's not my area of expertise.
What's offered to us as humans was not offered to them.
When desire has been conceived, then sin is birth.
All right.
And then sin, when it's fully grown, brings forth death.
Read some more commentaries and let me know what you find out.
Good question.
It is a good question. I don't have any more answers or a good answer.
Leanne texts me.
Oh, good. Yeah, if you have my number, text me.
You should be on the chat. We got to talk. Something may not be working right with our
maybe she doesn't.
YouTube. No, Leanne would know how to do that. What has Julie been cooking lately at the farm?
I know, because I'm so excited. I have finally learned I made some good turnip greens. I have never made good turnip greens. The first time I tried it, they were so salty, they were awful. We couldn't eat them, could we? Threw the whole thing out. That was years ago. It was awful.
Years ago.
The second time.
Wait. She cooked turnip greens, and I went over to the pot, and it was like No liquid. It was like
It was horrible.
shriveled up.
Yeah, it was bad.
And when I tasted it, it was like
All salt.
you were drinking from the Dead Sea.
They were bad. And the thing about it is, I don't like turnip greens really much to start with, so it was kind of hard to cook. So that was a long time ago. Then my mom cooked some, and they were pretty good with the turnips, and I like the turnips. So then I said, Mom, you've got to show me how to make turnip greens. So she did, and it involves a long process because she's very meticulous and clean and does not like bugs or bug-eaten turnip green leaves. So we wash them all, and you cut off the big stems, and you roll them, and we slice them, and we cook them. I cook them all day long with a ham
bone.
a honey baked ham bone that we had from.
No, that was the first one.
Yes, from Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. Whenever we ate it, a honey baked ham. The rest of the bone. So I put that in there, and they were pretty good. Not too bad, pretty good. Except I forgot when I did them on my own. I forgot to chop them up like she told me to. So one thing I did learn from turnip greens is really hard. You pull them out, as big old wadded mess comes out.
Cut them up.
It's hard. It's easier to cut them up beforehand than afterwards if you've never made them. Y'all probably have already all made them. It's a Southern thing. So then the next one I did with a ham bone in the freezer from Poly, a smoked ham he did on the grill on the egg. And they were really good. That was the best of all of them. So then I rolled them,
smoky
and I cut
ham,
them, and I cooked them all day.
Good flavor to them. They were really good.
We grew those in the greenhouse, and they did better in the greenhouse. Less bugs.
Was
So
there was no bugs.
No, there were some. There were bugs, but a whole lot.
Not like we've had before. But obviously, we had some cornbread with it, Leanne.
Dismores.
Turnip greens and cornbread. That's been the latest new thing. Hey, Dismores. Good to see you guys, Jared and crew. Hello, hello, hello. Glad you're out there. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody is continuing to do better and making some adjustments. I'm so sorry that January has turned out. And some folks have, called and asked about, why did we make the decision on Sundays to go 100% online. And it all came from Governor Lee's request. He did not mandate. So I want to make sure it's really, really clear. Our governor did not mandate anything to the churches. He just suggested, he said, if you have the capability of doing live stream, then please, for the month of January, do so in order to help combat the COVID numbers and the peak of numbers and the deep concern with what was now happening and now is starting to recover from. The ICUs being filled up and not enough ventilators because so many people were coming down with COVID. So we, as a church, we have been really blessed with what we believe is a really quality live stream capability. So the staff talked and we agreed that the governor asked us, we can do it. Let's do it. Let's be supportive. We're going to be back live in person February the 7th. Give you guys a heads up. You're going to hear this before anybody else. In February, we're going to do 2 services instead of 3. We're going to do a 9 o'clock and a 10:30. 9 o'clock and 10:30. And starting February, the 9 o'clock will be worship for everybody, all ages, at 9 o'clock. And at 10:30, it will be worship for children in the pre-house. What I say, pre-house?
The pre-house.
Michelle, I said pre-house. Treehouse. It's preschoolers
in the
treehouse. Get that right. And the children will be in the garage, and then everyone else will be in the worship center. Now, as a parent, we've always said, this is your call. If you want your child with you in the worship service and the worship center, that's perfectly all right. Those
are suggestions.
We don't say if you've got a preschooler, they got to go to the tree house or school. They got to go to the garage. We believe that's a parent decision. We make both available, and then families make their own decision, their own choices. And we're not that's what God gave you that role for. So we have both available. 9 o'clock, and then at 10:30 is the worship service plus the children's events going on. That's through February, and anticipation that things go well in March, we're going to add some version of life groups back on campus the first Sunday in March. Is that your birthday?
The first Sunday? I don't know. The first day is. I don't know if it's on a Sunday.
I like the way you said that. The first day is.
That's my theory, which we've already discussed.
Wait.
You get to celebrate.
No, it's on a Monday.
Month.
Your birthday's on a Monday.
Oh, well, still the first day.
So March the 7th, wait and see. But we have talked about, and we're working hard on making our life groups both in person and Zoomable. Is that a word? Zoomable?
It can be.
Zoomable
I think it will be
at
a
the
word.
same time, because we get people at different places in their own medical history, in their own comfort zone. They still want to be a part of their life group, but they still want to Zoom. So we are becoming technically up to date in our life group rooms with cameras and microphones and computers and all that, so that
So you could come or stay home.
Absolutely.
I always thought that would be I think that's a nice way to go coming out of this. You could even do it on vacation if you had a moment, if you weren't.
And we don't think that's ever going to go away.
No, I think that's a good idea.
We think that that's something that's going to be around. We think in person is valid. We believe in person. We believe some of the one another's are very difficult to do if you don't ever get in person. We think that in-person worship, in-person gatherings, in-person events, in-person life groups are here to stay. But we're saying there's a virtual side, a digital side of that is here, that's not going away. So it's not one or the other.
And Brett said that they've been doing that for a while and it's been working out well. And I think as we help people, everybody can learn. My mom did her first Zoom. Polly had to help her get on. We finally figured it out for her life group this last Sunday. She didn't want to be seen, so she was just heard. But I was very proud of her.
I handed her the letter. Can they see me? Can they see me? No, they can't see you. Are you sure they can't see me?
I was very proud of her, but I think everybody can eventually learn to decide which way they want to do it. So if you're still fearful, or say you're in the hospital, you're not feeling well, but you want to participate, it offers both. The best of the best of both worlds.
Yes. Presley class also has been doing that. You said the Airwoods. Mm-hmm. I know the Pittman group that Brett's in, and Lacey. And again, you guys have been wonderful, and everyone's been so encouraging and positive, and because we're all learning, we're all being stretched. I don't know what that was.
What does it mean?
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Bob.
You can hear
Bobby,
me, Bob?
So you're out there, but you can't. We got some problems with communicating on.
Yeah, because I can't make a comment myself on my phone. So unless I join a channel. I don't want a channel. I don't want to create a channel. So we'll work on that.
Let me tell you, here's Bobby's thought back to
Satan?
Luke's question.
I hope you answered it better than me.
Well, yeah, Bobby says, a couple of thoughts. Just because God chooses to change the spiritual state of believing people to the point where they won't sin in the place we will spend eternity doesn't mean that he created the same sin-free environment for angels. Ultimately, people will spend eternity in a new heaven and a new earth. The physical location is not what creates an eternal state where we live sin-free. See, we're better together.
Bobby Roberts is a deep thinker.
Oh.
He is. Right, you should ask him your questions. That's good.
Bobby, thank you. Great word.
Susan is also a very good person to ask questions to, his wife. They're both very, very knowledgeable, and I really like talking to them.
I can be in meetings and watch Bobby, man. You can just see.
His brain's spinning.
Man, it's just going. Andy's doing this. Bobby's doing this. Kiko's going, let's just worship. Let's just sing a song. I'm just having fun.
They're all good.
All our team. Good team. Good team. Excellent. All right. So any other questions?
Well,
We're
if
at
you can't get
45
on,
minutes.
And you have Bobby and not Bobby. If you have Poly's or my phone number, you can text us whatever. I'm not going to say it on this YouTube video because I just now a while back realized that these are like on there forever, and I didn't know that. And
they never go away.
It's not really my favorite thing to be on the screen forever, that anybody can look at all the stupid things I've done and expressions, but I'm doing it for the few of you that want to see it for some reason.
They're in the cloud.
So here we go.
And they never go away. All right. What did you say? Here you go. You have something to say?
Not really.
Oh, give us a word.
A word. I don't have a word. Leanne, do you have another question? Those are easy ones. Brett,
she likes them. What are you cooking?
Brett, you're limited to 1 or 2 hard questions a night. That's it. Lacey can ask a question.
Hashtag Schultz tough questions.
Oh man.
It's been good to be back with you guys. Hope you've enjoyed just sitting by the fire with us.
We really are looking.
It is toasty.
Looking forward to seeing people's faces without masks, like we together to worship and to love and to hug. I'm looking forward to that, and I know that it will come again someday, and hopefully it will be sooner rather than later. But might be a few tough roads to go. But
I will say, just we had a Zoom call with some folks today, just talking about some ministry in the future, and one of the things that this individual we were talking to mentioned is that they're surveying and studying churches, across the nation in the midst of a COVID world, and they're saying that the need to be cared for is going through the roof. The feeling and the need to know that you're cared for from your church is like going, in the stratosphere, and trying to meet that need is the challenge before us. So, for example, like on Sundays, we'd be around everybody. We'd walk through the worship center. We'd see people. We'd talk to people. I was able to touch people. I was able to pray for people. I was able, to listen to whatever. It could be a funny story. It could be a spiritual question. It could be
sharing your life.
Yeah, it's just, and it's been, it's been almost a year, and that has been a vacuum that's been removed from people's lives. And what they're finding through this study is that the need, that was something we never really, how am I saying this? Really thought a lot about, but it's come to the surface. Like those small little touches, seeing Pastor Andy in the hallway and having a conversation, or seeing Julie, or seeing, other members of our team, or your life group leader, or whatever, that was a lot more valuable than what people ever imagined it to be. And so with that being removed, so suddenly it's creating a vacuum where people want to be just cared for. And so we're trying to find better ways of doing that. I know you're going to help us find better ways of doing that. And they also said that in 2021 into 2022, and don't take this negatively, but they're just saying mental health, the levels of mental health are going to hit new levels of concern. It's just a part of the byproduct of isolation and pandemic, is the mental health is just really being stretched. So if you feel like that, don't feel like you're weird or different or something's wrong with you, or you got some major, psychological problem. You're dealing with what we're all dealing with in a COVID to a post-COVID world. It's real stuff. And I don't even understand it all. I don't understand it all. But I was just interested to listen. I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about how much we receive benefit from the small touches of multiple people in our lives every day. And that's been eradicated, and it's impacting how we think. It's impacting how we feel. It's impacting our attitude, that then impacts our action. So, hang in there.
It's the actual day-to-day working out of the law that Jesus summed up everything into one law in the New Testament. Love the Lord your God, love others as him. You can't love others as well if you don't ever see any others, or you're not able to touch them or ask them. So I'm trying to do this year, one of my, goals is to frequently, I'd like to do it daily, but that realistically probably isn't going to happen. But daily, reach out in some way, shape, form, or fashion to somebody else. Say, hey, what's going on? Was thinking about you. Write them a letter, send them a card, give them a text, drop by the outside, say, hey, come to the door, come to the front porch, come on, stand in the street. Let's have a little discussion. Because there's a lot of people that are feeling, it's a worldwide feeling. I read all kinds of blogs and things, saved, unsaved, Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter, artsy person, geeky nerd. It doesn't matter. Everybody has these same kinds of feelings. So we got to help each other.
All right, folks. We got
help from my friends.
Oh no.
Oh, sing your favorite help one another song.
No, you get kicked off YouTube. They'll
sorry.
Whatever.
So if
Israel,
you say
you know what they do.
Yeah,
Israel tells me all the time, don't do that.
Nobody heard that. I didn't
Throws
sing
it off.
one line.
Man, you get slammed. Leanne has one more question before we go out.
Leanne gets the last one.
But we'll be back, conversations at the farm on Wednesday nights for the next 3 weeks, see how that goes. Hopefully we'll clear up the communication problem that we're having tonight. And that may have been my fault. Ty was working with me, and I was messing things up, and I tested it. And then when I did it, I did away with the one we were supposed to use tonight. So I had to use another one for the night, and I'd send it out to you guys. So that's my bad, not Ty's. That's me goofing that I do sometimes. Here's the question. Any crafting lately?
Were you asking Poly?
No, she's asking right over there.
Oh,
you were crafting. What is that? Show us.
I don't.
You have no. She asked a question,
but I can answer it. She asked me, didn't she? She asked me. Not as much as I would like to do. Poly says, "What in the world do you do up there all the time?" Well, I'm still trying to organize.
Where's the
getting light things?
Where's
together.
The crafting room? See, all the lights on. It's up there in the corner.
But I have been. What have I done? Well, this is not crafting. I had to hem Poly's pants, which I hate doing.
You took something somewhere to get fixed.
Yes. Debbie McConnell's mom, Chris. Chris is quilting.
Hi, Chris.
A quilt that I finally finished from 2019. So.
Which quilt is this?
It's a block of the month. And so you didn't see, it was a mystery block of the month. So they give you the block, and then you put it together. And then at the end, they show you the whole quilt at the very end, December. So we finally finished it and took it over there.
What is a block of the month? Like a square?
Yeah, square. Mm-hmm. There were 12.
All a bunch of squares sewn together?
There were 12 squares, yes. Most, it involves triangles and stuff. This one did. No circles or curves or anything in this one.
It's a square that involves triangles.
Inside the square. A triangle is different than a square. Rectangles, squares, triangles, inside a big square, 12 by 12 square.
All right, folks, it's been right at 53 minutes.
Which is way long
we're
enough.
going to say to you guys, it's dinner time. It's time for me to go get some of them turnip greens and some cornbread.
Good luck on a cornbread part.
Sit by the fire and watch the news and hear how crazy the world is. But it's been great. I hope it's been encouraging for you guys. Remember, 2 + 2 always equals 4. I don't care what anyone else will tell you.
There are Wednesday night classes, other Wednesday night classes coming up, some really good ones. So we will not be offended if you are going to jump into one of those. We hope you do, because those are going to be fun.
A lot of those are not on Wednesdays.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know
I thought they were.
traditionally, traditional people think it's always, but they're not.
I was going to tell you mine isn't, but I thought the rest of them were.
No, a lot. They're on Monday nights. They're on Tuesday nights. They're on Thursday nights.
So a bunch of different choices.
A bunch of different nights. Because again, it's a new day. It's a new reality, and virtual groups are not just Sundays and Wednesdays. It's any day, anytime, any place, anyhow. So,
and I know you guys.
But go to the website, hermitagells.com/events. And on that page, they're all listed. Really good stuff for you to jump in on with groups.
I'm going to be facilitating the leading on Tuesday mornings, Sermon on the Mount by Jen Wilkins. And if you aren't able to do that one or not interested in that one, if you know a friend or anybody that can't, they don't have to be a church member, obviously. Anybody can participate. And actually, I saw a sign-up sheet from Audrey Sizemore, who is across the world.
Audrey on the other side of the world.
I'm not even sure what time it is when she's going to be doing
10
this.
o'clock. Brett, help me. 10 o'clock. Oh, he's gone. He had to go have dinner.
So anyways, we're just
10
wanted to throw
o'clock
that
in the
out.
morning is, I want to say,
it's sometime in the evening.
6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night.
Something
Debbie
like that.
McConnell would know that question.
But anyways, just pass it along if you think you might know somebody that would be interested in any of those classes.
Yeah. Hey, folks.
Thanks for joining us.
Love you. Hang in there. Pray hard. Trust big. It's today plus tomorrow equals forever.
Bye.
Good night.